Hello, welcome. It's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Let's talk about everything Scorpio. We're going to talk about how they dress, how they look, how they are as a person, how are we as a collective during Scorpio season. If you want to know all that, then you're at the right place. So let's get started. Before we actually get started, please do your due diligence and don't forget to like, comment, all that beautiful things that you do as a YouTube watcher. And also, if you want other zodiac signs and you want to know more about them, then don't worry, I have them in the list. I think it's called Zodiac List of videos of all the other signs, and I'm going in order, so we have a few more left. So Scorpio season is October 23rd to November 21st. As I am filming this, it is currently Scorpio season. It's the second month of autumn, so it is a fixed sign. We'll get into that a little bit later. Correlation to seasons. When the outer nature dies to form organic soil beneath the earth for the new year. Death, transformation, regeneration is all representation of Scorpio. The characteristic of Scorpio season is cold and moist. Scorpio energy strives for security and power. The pitfall of Scorpio is intoxication with power. The task in life for the energy of Scorpio, being a true, completely irritating healer. I find that to be so funny because I'm a Scorpio moon, and boy, do I think everything's a lesson, and boy, do I try to heal it all. So that is very much true. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes down here and I don't want to forget anything or leave anything out. Guiding principle is I probe or I desire. The archetype for Scorpios are magicians and a shaman. So let's talk about the duality of Scorpio energy. And if you are new to astrology, if you're like, what is she talking about? Don't worry, it all gets explained. But there is a duality to every zodiac sign, a positive, negative zodiac sign, a feminine, masculine zodiac sign, and Scorpio is a feminine sign. All earth and water signs are feminine. If you have an issue with the term feminine, then seek counseling. Because it's a word and it's not to offend. Feminine actually, when it comes to zodiac signs, means inward, not outward. That's one way to describe it. It's really about the characteristic energy of the sign and not really the gender. And it's also about the qualities associated to the signs. Feminine signs are very receptive, they're nurturing, and there is a sense of introspection with feminine signs. That's why I said inward energy. They usually represent emotions, intuition, the inner world. And there are 6 feminine signs and are also known as the yin signs, like yin and yang. Now, feminine signs are not good or bad. It's not good or bad if you associate with a feminine sign. If you are a man and you associate with a feminine sign, don't worry, that doesn't mean anything other than what I just explained to you. It just really indicates the range of qualities and energies that the sign really exhibits. They could be introverted, and they're definitely about reflection, and they really have an emphasis on emotional and spiritual aspects of life. They have empathy, they are compassionate, and they have the ability to connect to the inner world of themselves and others. And also the feminine signs are Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpios, Capricorns, and Pisces. So the water and earth signs, which are also the yin signs. Now, the triplicity of this zodiac sign, which really means another word for the element of the water sign of this sign is water. And other water signs, if you already know, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Now, the water signs are very emotional, and they could be a little unstable with their emotions, and they share the element of water, so they are very emotionally deep. There's intuition, there's sensitivity, there's a psychological insight, and they're very adaptable because water is very adaptable. Water signs are deeply in tune with their emotions and the emotions of those around them. They're often empathetic, may also be susceptible to mood swings as their emotions can be intense and changeable. Again, water signs are very nurturing and supportive. They value deep connections with people and relationships, and it could be possessive and very sensitive. Water signs also could be creative, very into psychology, healing professions, and the world of art. Now, the quad energy, there's 4, and it's also the mode, and that is that Scorpio is a fixed sign. Now, there are cardinal signs, mutable signs, and fixed signs. And the fixed signs is right in the middle between the cardinal and mutable. Modes are also known as the qualities, represented the way signs initiate and respond to action and change. So all the fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpios, and Aquarius. And fixed signs are the stabilizers. They excel at maintaining and preserving what has been initiated by the cardinal signs. They are often determined, unyielding, and steadfast in their pursuits. Fixed signs occur in the middle of all the season. They're very persistent. Cancer, for example, is a cardinal sign, and right behind Cancer is Leo. So in the summertime, Cancer gets the summer started, and the Leo is like, okay, we're here to stay. Let's fix things up. She started it, Cancer. Let's make sure that it stays. Okay. And then right after that, then here comes Virgo like, nah, let's change things up. Let's switch it up a little bit. Now, Scorpio as a fixed sign is very unyielding. It's very determined. It's very focused. They are very focused on solving mysteries or uncovering hidden truths, and they're ready to undergo any transformation. Scorpio individuals are often passionate, perceptive. They are known for their ability to endure and embrace change because they do have that water energy. However, that focused energy is where we get the fixed. So the polarity, which is the complete opposite of the Scorpio energy, is the Taurus. Now, all signs have a polarity. Every single sign has an opposite sign that they can learn from, or they have something in common. Okay? Now, the Scorpio sign is the sign of inheritance and legacies, a sense of purpose and destiny, and find truest happiness in dispensing their life force to others. Now, Taurus is the sign of possessions and owning, and people born under the sign want to possess, collect, and have. They will not easily let go what belongs to them. And by the way, they're both fixed signs. Scorpio is associated with emotional and psychological realms, while Taurus is focused on material and physical aspects of life. This polarity highlights the tensions between deep, transformative emotions, which is the Scorpio, and the desire for stability and material security, which is the Taurus. Now, Scorpio can learn from Taurus about finding security and contentment in the present moment, while Taurus can benefit from Scorpio's capacity to explore the hidden aspects in life. Scorpio can help Taurus delve deeper into the emotions and explore personal transformation, while Taurus can provide a stable and secure foundation for Scorpio to trust and open up. So interesting because they're both fixed signs, but a Scorpio is going to bend a little more because of the water, where Taurus is the most fixed, stubborn of all the signs because it's an earth sign and it's fixed. Now, they both deal with money because you have Taurus dealing with the resources, where you have Scorpio dealing with what do you owe me and loans and taxes. Scorpio may seek changes and transformation, which Taurus can find unsettling. Communication and compromise are crucial to finding harmony within the Taurus and Scorpio relationship. Now, the ruling planet for Scorpio, well, there's 2. The traditional ruling planet is Mars, and Mars is the god of war, which symbolizes the cut and thrust of life. And the red planet suggests heat and is linked to anger, passion, and pain. Mars lends our determined nature, our stilling focus in life, and our ambition. Now, Scorpio, the way that I learned astrology, the ruling planet is Pluto, and it's named after the god of the underworld. Pluto was discovered in 1930, and world events and developments at the time of the planet discovery can reveal a lot about the planet's symbolism. This was a crucial period in 2 particular fields: nuclear power and the birth of psychoanalysts. Pluto is the outermost known planet of today. Pluto is hard to handle. Pluto operates with extreme possessing power and being a force beyond the ego when it manifests, it usually causes one to feel out of control. Now, Pluto can symbolize a complete breakdown of our ordinary reality, such as the breakdown of forces. Now, it makes me think of, in tarot, there's this card called the Tower, and there is a whole breakdown happening, and there's chaos, but you must not hold on tight. You have to release and let go and let God in order to really have the change taking place. Pluto is about evolution. It's about growing, dying, and decay, and or a change into something else. People with strong Pluto energy are about the power of the death and resurrection. Uranus type people are more oft about the revolution and the need for change, where Pluto people will often bring it about. So people who have strong Uranus energy, they're like, we need change, because they're all about the rebellion and freedom. But Pluto comes and says, okay, let's change it. Let's actually make this change happen. So Pluto is in charge of the beginning and end of life. So when something dies, something is brought back to life. Hence the transformation, hence the regeneration, rejuvenation. And Scorpio individuals tend to exhibit strong willpower, determination, and desire for action. And Pluto represents deep psychological insight. Scorpio's connection to Pluto emphasizes its intensity, a desire to uncover hidden truths. Currently, Pluto is in a sign Capricorn as I'm filming this. And we just finished having it retrograding. So it's about deep and reaching transformation of social order and hierarchies and laws, as well as the areas of personal responsibility, fulfillment of duties, and generally understanding of destiny. The power is about loss and norms. And Pluto is going to go into the sign Aquarius, and that's when it's in its fall, and it's about deep reaching transformation and the valuation of freedom. Aquarius ruler is Uranus, which I was discussing earlier, and it's about independence as well as the individual possibility of development for each human being, and it is about intellect and superiority. Get ready for that. I do a podcast, and I'm probably already discussed Pluto going to Aquarius. If I haven't already, there will be an episode on that. The key words for Pluto are power, magic, hypnosis, healing, shadow, transformation, dependence, powerlessness, regeneration, possession, entanglement, and rearrangement. And here's some keywords for Mars: fight, sexuality, muscles, war, violence, conquest, strength, action, desires, brutality, competition, inconsiderateness, assertion, advancement, potency, drive, wildness, aggression, heat, and dynamics. And Mars is also the ruler of Aries. Mars is in a sign Scorpio. It's in its exhaustion. And exhaustion is a sign where it's most favorably placed in a planet. This means that Mars is particularly powerful and well placed in Scorpio. And Scorpio shares many qualities with Mars, such as the intensity, passion, and assertiveness. So when we have Mars in a sign of Scorpio, it loves it there. Or if you personally have that in your chart, good for you. When the moon is in a sign Scorpio, it is at its fall there. And the fall is when the sign is least favorable placement for a planet, and it's where the planet's energy are challenged, and because the moon represents emotions and our subconscious. But in Scorpio, a sign known for intense and transformation nature, the moon's gentle, sensitive qualities may find it challenging to express themselves fully. Scorpio's intensity can sometimes clash with the moon's need for security and emotional comfort. Now, detriment. When Venus is in a sign Scorpio, it's at its detriment. And detriment is a sign when a planet is in a position that's relatively weak. There's discomfort. So Venus is not comfortable in the sign Scorpio, and Venus represents love, beauty, and harmony. And Scorpio could be intense and sometimes confrontational in nature, so can create tensions with Venus, leading to challenges expressing love and maintaining harmonious relationships. Scorpio tends to seek deep transformative connections, which may differ from Venus, who is lighthearted and it's all about approaching with love and aesthetics, okay? And it could be superficial, where Scorpio wants to go beyond the surface, okay? Now, the tarot card for Scorpio is the Death card. Surprise, surprise, surprise. In the upright meaning, the Death card represents transformation, change, and the end of one phase, making way for a new beginning. It's not about physical death per se, but rather about the death of old habits, beliefs, and situations. Now, in the upright position, it signifies a profound and necessary change of transformation in your life. You are letting go of the past, embracing endings, and welcoming new opportunities. It often indicates a period of renewal and personal growth. In the reverse, the Death card could suggest resistance to change or an unwillingness of letting go of the past. It can represent stagnant, a fear of transformation. It's essential to recognize the change is inevitable, and resisting it might lead to difficulties. The reverse Death card can indicate a need to release old patterns and embrace opportunities for growth that comes with change. So Pluto energy represents deep, profound change, personal rebirth, and uncovering the hidden truths. So the symbol of the scorpion is secretive, deadly creature that can poison its enemies. Its sting is often fatal. This symbolizes Scorpio's intense and passionate nature. This reflects Scorpio's natural inclination to protect themselves and those they care about. The scorpion undergoes a process of metamorphosis, shedding its old exoskeleton to reveal a new one. I never knew that. I actually didn't know much about the creature, the scorpion creature. This process of transformation symbolizes Scorpio's ability to regenerate, reinvent themselves, are often associated with change, personal growth, and the capacity to rise from their own ashes, like the mythical phoenix. Scorpions are known for their secretive and enigmatic nature. Scorpios often exhibit a mysterious quality. So the creature scorpion is very mysterious and secretive, just like the Scorpios. Despite their powerful sting, scorpions are also vulnerable to outside influences. This mirrors Scorpios' tendency to hide their vulnerabilities behind the tough exterior. Scorpios can be deeply sensitive and protective of their innermost feelings. Scorpios are known for their resilience and adaptability, enduring harsh conditionings and adapting to various environments. This mirrors Scorpio's ability to confront challenges, navigate complex situations, and bounce back from adversity. A potent symbol associated with the sign is the phoenix, the mythical firebird, which dies and is reborn from the ashes. It's worth noting that there are two other symbols belonging to a Scorpio. The first one is the ego, which represents your ability to soar high, to be magnetic in life. The ego is a symbol of strength and power. The second is, can you guess? A serpent. Immortalized in the tale of Adam and Eve, the serpent deceives Eve into eating fruit from the forbidden tree, which she then shares with Adam. This rewards them with knowledge, also the harmful and destructive concepts of shame and evil. So the serpent symbolizes sin. This is only one half of the story, because the serpent also could symbolize fertility, the creative life force, rebirth, and transformation. It sheds its skin and healing, which I did know that about a serpent. It's interesting too, because in Eastern cultures, a lot of them believe that part of a serpent. Where I am from, Western cultures, they believe the first part, which is the sinful part of a serpent. The glyph, which is that written symbol of Scorpio, it looks like an M, but then it has the up points upward, and it has like the scorpion's tail, like the stinger. This glyph is associated with the dragon, serpent, spider, scorpion, or phoenix. The stinger also represents the human reproductive organs. We'll get into that later. Symbols in ancient times for phoenix, bird of immortality and regeneration. The curved lines and arrows represent a strong emotions tied to practicality and aiming toward higher consciousness. So the body part that Scorpio rules is linked to the reproductive and eliminative organs. These include the sexual organs, such as the genital, the reproduction system, as well as the excretory system, including the colon and the bladder. The reproductive organs are essential for creating life, and Scorpio's ruling planet Pluto symbolizes change and rebirth. Scorpio individuals are often seen as having a strong sexual energy and deep connection to their emotions and desires. They may also be prone to health concerns related to the reproductive and eliminative systems, making it important for them to maintain their physical and emotional well-being in these areas. Now, the genitals, Scorpio people are susceptible to infection of the urinary system, and their emotions could affect their health, so be aware of that. And this also is really important for Scorpio risings because that represents your body, the Scorpio energy. The lucky day for Scorpio is Tuesday. Tuesday is really the ruler of Mars. On Tuesday, you may find yourself being competitive. Physical activity, Mars is really associated with physical activity because remember you have the Aries energy. Passion and desire, you may have heightened senses and passions for your pursuits. There's courage, a warrior spirit, and also the color red is representative of Mars and Tuesday. So wearing red, wearing or surrounding yourself with red can help you tap into your assertiveness and your passionate energies of the day. Now, the Scorpio age is the age 49 to 56. Introspection time when external attributes is mainly in decline. So you looking good doesn't matter. So forget the surface level. It's all about internal. Scorpio embodies the quality of this age, focus on internal longings and solo pursuits that can see when you are left on your own devices. Also, many people get divorced at this time, corresponding to the planet Pluto, the energy of growth and via elimination. Okay, so the lucky numbers associated with Scorpio is 8. 8 is linked to the power of ambition and transformation and control. Number 9 is associated with spirituality, wisdom, and a deep understanding of the human experience. 4, because you have the structure and stability, and that is the fixed energy of Scorpio. 2, because you're dealing with partnerships and relationships and balance. Scorpios are often value deep emotional connections. 13, Scorpios can be drawn to the symbolism of 13 because it represents transformation and rebirth. It reflects their ability to embrace and navigate change. 17 is also a number of spiritual insight and self-discovery. 6 is associated with nurturing, growth, and transformation, caring and providing for others, which Scorpio has a strong desire to take care of their loved ones. And the master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. Scorpios might also connect to the master numbers because they have a quest for deeper understanding and profound experiences. Also, it carries a very spiritual and transformative energy, the master numbers. Now, the birthstone for Scorpio is the topaz because it releases occult powers, serenity to the mind. It also protects from the enemies and illnesses. And topaz comes in all various different colors: yellow, golden, pink, and blue. Opal and citrine could also be associated with the birthstone Scorpio. Now, special colors for Scorpios. And this goes really with Scorpio risings, Venus and Scorpio: crimson, burgundy, maroon, deep red, black, dark brown, charcoal gray, deep purple, dark burgundy, and silver. Now, deep red because it's like the blood red or maroon. This color symbolizes passion, power, and intensity. And remember, Mars is associated with red, which is more Aries. But when it's deep, deep red, that's Scorpio getting involved, okay? Black is associated with mystery, the unknown, and hidden depths. Dark brown, it's a grounding color that connects Scorpio to the earth, and it symbolizes stability, sensuality. It's a color that represents physical and material aspects of life. It makes me also think of autumn or fall, which is happening during Scorpio season, and everything's brown, okay? Especially that dark brown. Charcoal gray, it's representative of wisdom, introspection, depth, It reflects Scorpio's tendency to delve into psychological and emotional matters. Deep purple, it's very spiritual and psychologically a psychological insight color. Dark burgundy is rich and is very luxury. It represents luxury, passion of red. Also has that brown into it, which you get with the red and deep red and brown. Silver is not that common. It's not as popular as a color for Scorpios, but silver can represent the moon, which has a strong influence on this sign, and the moon represents our emotion and our intuition. Okay, now cities that represent Scorpio, and this is for all my astrologers, and it basically means that when planets are in the sign Scorpio and aspects are happening, these locations seem to feel it the most. Liverpool, New Orleans, Washington DC, Newcastle, Baltimore, Cincinnati. Countries: Syria, Korea, Bavaria, Queensland, Austria, Uruguay, Norway, Algeria. I'll put them up. I don't want to butcher the cities and the countries, so they are up here. The flowers, I'll put up the flowers, but red flowers. It's so funny because I am a Scorpio moon and I love some red roses. That also deals with some other placements that I have, but yes, red flowers, honeysuckle, hibiscus, and some others. Trees: blackthorn, thorny trees, nut trees, bushy trees. The metal is still magnesium, plutonium, and iron, which is all to treat and prevent pneumonia. Animals ruled by Scorpios. It's interesting because Libra had snakes that represents Libra, and you can see that more for the aesthetics aspect, but you also get so that's interesting. That is also in Scorpio energy. But insects and crustaceans, Scorpios like small dogs, especially ones they can put on their laps. They also like exotic or unusual plants like lizards, snakes. Insects such as butterflies are also associated with Scorpios. Spiders too, hence Scorpio energy really makes me think of the TV show that's on and Kim Kardashian's in it, and I was watching it. Everything about it says Scorpio. Okay, blood, red, spiders, someone's giving birth, dark, all that. Anyway, Scorpio, the dangers of Scorpio. Scorpio people evoke anger in others by their secretness and jealousy. Their sharp, stinging tempers can also rage others to the point of violence. Okay, now every time there is Scorpio season, and we'll get into the people a little bit more, that was just a touch, but Scorpio season is very intense because it's got the water energy, so there's emotions and intense and passion. So beware of that, and people have a sense of determination. Also, transformation can happen during Scorpio season, like I said about the Phoenix. So there's some type of rebirth happening anytime we have Scorpio season happening. Power and empowerment. Scorpio energy is about power, control. You may have someone controlling you, or you are controlling others. There's mysteries and secrets. You find a lot of unhidden truths happening during Scorpio season. So, or you maybe are into investigating. Resource management. Scorpio is associated with the 8th house in astrology, which relates to shared resources such as finance and emotional support. This season may prompt you to examine your financial situation, shared resources, and how you manage them. Psychological depth. Scorpio season is a time when people are often engaged in deeper psychological self-exploration. Now, determination, because we have that fixed energy, people are more determined and focused as well during Scorpio season. Now, let's talk about the holidays during Scorpio and why we have them because of Scorpio energy. First of all, Halloween is the most obvious, right? Halloween occurs during Scorpio, the beginning of Scorpio season, and it's a time when people embrace dark and their mysterious side. It's also very intense, and it's when individuals often dress up in various characters, embracing their alter egos. And the themes of Halloween is rebirth, death, transformation, all that you get for the traditions of Halloween, and spiders. Okay, the Day of the Dead is also during Scorpio season, and that usually is celebrated in Mexico, but of course in America we have a lot of people who celebrate it, and it's remembering your deceased loved ones, your ancestors, and it's a time of reflection on the cycle of life and death, which aligns with Scorpio's themes of transformation and rebirth. All Saints Day, November 1st or November 2nd, Well, All Saints Day and All Souls Day is November 2nd. All Saints Day is November 1st. These Christian observations focus on remembering and praying for the souls of the departed. They resonate with Scorpio season, emphasis on deep emotions in the spiritual realm. Veterans Day is also during Scorpio season, and it's a time to honor and remember military veterans who have served our country. And that is that little Mars aspect. Because Mars is all about the war. It can be the opportunity of deep reflection and gratitude for sacrifices, experiences for those who have served our country. Thanksgiving happens during Scorpio season, and you have emotional depth and transformation, and it could be channeled into meaningful conversations and connecting during a holiday. Also, the remembrance of your ancestries and your family, all of that could be connected to Thanksgiving. There is another holiday called Samhain. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's a Gaelic festival, and it's on November 1st, marking the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, or darker half of the year, and is believed to be the Eve of Samhain. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Also, Transgender Day is honored November 20th. Black Friday, that's a good one. Could it be even more obvious? Black Friday. And that's the day after Thanksgiving. Black is known for its intensity. Okay. And you can take advantage of the sales and all that stuff. But the name of it, it's such a Scorpio energy. Okay. So the keywords for Scorpio energy is I desire, I transform. You can identify as a Scorpio if you were born with the sun, moon, ascendant Scorpio, or if you have these planets close to Pluto. So if your Pluto is close to your rising, or if Pluto is close to your moon or sun. If you were born with the number of planets in the 8th house, Scorpio energy, you resonate strong with it. If you were born with Pluto in the 1st house, 7th house, or 10th house, welcome to the war of Scorpio. Mission in life, transformative effect in the world. Best at magnetic attraction, wiping a clean slate, survival instincts, all or nothing approach, plumbing the depths, and soul searching and analyzing intense experiences, healing self and others. Okay, so the key traits of Scorpios. We've already discussed transformation, focus, very intense, very passionate, very mysterious. Scorpios are also known for their deep emotional resilience and determination. They're often drawn to uncovering the truth and have a magnetic and mysterious quality about them. Scorpios will embrace or come into contact with the dark side of life. Even if you wear black clothes or you read poems or novels about death or even loss, Scorpio energies love that. Of course, healing on all kinds of level. Scorpio energy also rules all things taboo. So that could be money, sex, and death. It's linked to the psyche, what's hidden. The key word of Scorpio is power. Power, power, power. Okay. A lot of people say Scorpios are so controlling, because their keywords are power. Whether you use the power good or bad, Scorpios use it wisely. Many Scorpios instinctively understand the good and evil coexist in a world, and that the dark side of life is as necessary as the light. The underworld of the Pluto is like you must come through the darkness to have the light. So Scorpio energy usually understands that. The day wouldn't exist without the night. What is natural in a world always decays, and that's what a Scorpio energy would know. Scorpio is connected to the cycles of life, harvesting life and death, detoxing, purging, decluttering are essential Scorpio strategies, paring life back to basics so it can wipe the slate clean, ready to start over. Ultimate goal of Scorpio is transformation in all its guises, okay? The 8th house theme, again, is death. So this can range for the fascination of death, bereavement experiences, informative years, being like a medium. Psychic abilities are an affinity with the paranormal. They cannot stand superficialness and mediocreness, okay? Scorpio world is having a means of mystery. They like to be concealed, secretive, suppressed to taboos that the society produces. Secret societies is the energy of Scorpio. Also, too, it makes me think of, because I'm a Scorpio moon, so if I meet a stranger on the street and they ask me personal business, I am like silent. I try my best to give them as least information as possible for no reason whatsoever. What else do we have? Scorpios can be the healer and the helper, but also can use this ability to make other people dependent. So be aware of that. You know, if you are Virgo and Scorpio, you are a major healer. If you have both of those signs within you, major healer. Scorpios are detectives because they like to get the hidden truth, and they're very focused and determined, profound and analytical, sharp-witted and unyielding in the quest for the last truth. Scorpio people talk about what people don't want to talk about. Okay? If people are silent about something, Scorpio's like, let's talk about it. Very powerful energy, very powerful individual, enormous emotional strength, wishful powers that can be compelling for others, intensive, unreadable, strong sexuality. They can access the dark. Scorpio women in their superiority complex will rival with Leo men. Be careful, Leo men. Scorpios could be rigid, can sting others when faced with strangers, which I just mentioned earlier. Old-fashioned powers of the soul. Scorpios take on a positive role of assisting others who are going through a transformation because they are the healers and they're the therapists and are into transformation physically and psychologically. Scorpios may appear to be religious leaders who stress rebirth after death, either literal or physical or psychological therapists, healers, gurus, religious leaders are the most positive Scorpios of all because they are the most in touch with central themes of Pluto, the death and the rebirth of the soul. Me being a Scorpio moon in my 8th house placements, I did go to grad school for psychology. I've always been very psychologically astute and always think about psychology. Anytime someone enters a room, I think of them and how they are psychologically. Pluto energy is also associated with the underworld elements, which could also be organized crime. Scorpios could study magic and psychic energies at their highest form. Their knowledge that one gains from its studies could be dangerous to the extent that the magic could fall short of perfect psychological balance. Typical Scorpio, and it's so interesting because some of the books that I have about Scorpio energy even discuss the Hamas and Jewish conflict. And as you know, I'm filming this is currently really huge in the news, and it even discussed how that could be major Pluto energy because you're trying to keep something suppressed, and you have to be careful when you're dealing with Pluto and Scorpio energy because when you hold something and suppress it, those secret skeletons, it comes to the light. Okay, so that is something that's very Scorpio Pluto, and then that comes to light, which brings a transformation that you may not be ready for. Okay, introversion, crisis, and even despair can play a vital role in personal growth. Scorpio energy is okay with not chaos, but a crisis because they're like, what are we going to learn from this? How would we heal from this? Many Scorpios are fascinated with the unconsciousness and what makes people tick. And you often pride yourself on the ability to read other people. That is so me. So crazy how astrology is just so dead on. When you throw yourself into a project, a relationship, a lifelong goal, you do so wholeheartedly. It is also ability to be fixated on a goal or a cause that can make you successful in all endeavors. And that is major Scorpio energy. Okay, so the strengths of Scorpio is that they're uncompromising. They have strength. They're the breakers of the taboos. Scorpios do not enter into lazy compromises. They're examples, they're leaders. Placing a finger with a sure instinct on the sore spots of others can thereby initiate a healing process. Scorpios are tough, tenacious, strong, and well provocative and often uncomfortable for others. The weaknesses of Scorpios: they can be fiercely loyal, but may also be prone to jealousy and possessiveness, psychologically unhealthy, jealousy and envious, obsessive, self-destructive, spiraling down, drawn toward corruption and or the underworld, pig-headed person, cynical, fanatic, dogmatic, very opinionated, stubborn, strong powers of wishful thinking, which easily becomes fixated on one idea, tyranny, ruled over power, giving into temptations of one's own power, sucking other people dry emotionally and keeping them oppressed and or dependent, vindictive, savage, and cold-blooded, blindly destructive, desperately at the mercy of the extremes of one's own emotions, can be pessimistic, especially during pessimistic on a view of society, could be focused on money, and could be stingy. I definitely know some stingy Scorpios. Okay, secrets of Scorpios. Your greatest fear is losing control. Knowledge equals power in a Scorpio's mind. You find it hard to let other people take critical decisions for you, or even ask for help. You don't like to reveal a lot about yourself, certainly not especially when you first meet someone. Me. You can get the truth out of people, but barely give a lot away. Now, there are decadents, and the decadents are divided into 10-degree segments. And so you may say like 3 weeks within the zodiac sign. So the first decadent is 0 to 10 degrees, and the rule. Okay, editing Danyell here. Do not be alarmed that my mouth is moving and my voice is different, but let me just go over the decadence. The first decadence, your ruler is Pluto, so you have integrity. You're very intense. You're very loyal, steadfast. Other people can really depend on you. You may be drawn to mysterious and occult things, and you may be secretive about that, but you have great power of self-discipline. Mars is also a co-ruler, so there's some aggression there. So now let's talk about the second decadent. Your co-ruler planet is Neptune, and you give yourself a lot to others. You could be a teacher, a healer, a physician, superb in that department, and you inspire and help others a lot. You're a true romantic. Relationships give you a deeper meaning in life, and you will probably feel completed if you had something fulfilled in that love department. And you are very impatient. Okay, you're not a patient person. Now, Decan 3, your keyword is clarification. Your sub-ruler is the moon. You are best dealing with a group of people. You tend to choose work that projects you into a public eye. You're very magnetic, could be popular. Injustice brings out your fighting spirit. You also could be moody, and you have very deep emotions because you have that moon. Okay, back to regular Danyell. Now, if you are a Scorpio, let's talk about your appearance. Now, water signs, which are Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios, they could produce a lot of hair. They usually have soft, round features, usually slow, cool bodies, and could be pear-shaped. Now, fixed signs, which is the Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, they can usually have a physical body like a Taurus, something like a square, strong, dense, heavy muscles, and bones, condensed looking. Now, because Mars is the ruling planet, you usually have like a long back, top head, pointy nose. So there's 2 types of Scorpios. There's one who wears black and have a lot of body piercings. And then there's the second one who really want to reveal too much about themselves. Okay, so Scorpios, the body is usually short to medium stature with a very long gaze. The limbs are dense and heavy. Coloration is prone towards darkness. Black is the general possibility, or red. The hair is coarse and textured. Severe acne, Scorpio governs the sweat glands and the pores of the skins. They're very large. They could have body odor. Their voice could be low, sultry, and sexy, somewhat like a smoker's voice. There's 2 types of face when it comes to Scorpios. Fine, sharp nose or a big nose, chiseled features. You can also look for the red in their clothing, spike heels, long nails. Women tend to dress very seductive. It makes me think of Selling Sunset. I don't know if you know this show. It's a reality show on Netflix. There's this one character on there. She gives me major Scorpio vibes. I'm going to look her up and see. I know for a fact she has Scorpio in her, but hopefully I can find that for you guys. The second face shape type is crude, thick, heavy features. The nose could be large or noticeably in some way broken, cleft, or blunted. The lips are thick, heavy, sometimes red. Beetle brows. They have a square full face in their body. There is one of the zodiac's strongest physically and most resilient types. Dense hair, intense colors, eyebrows joined or V-shaped. High contrast between skin, hair, and eyes. So like pale skin, black hair. Sometimes funny or outstanding about their nose. It could be hooked, beat broken, or a large nose. And that is my husband. He's a Scorpio and he has an interesting nose. Intense fear in expression. Something like an eagle. Low forehead. Widow's peak. Have moles or scars or acne. High energy, stamina. controlled power, intense and sexy, looks like a crow. Scorpio risings may experience changes in their appearance or their style over time as they go through a personal transformation. They can reinvent themselves in their look, typically have a deep, intense, and penetrating gaze. Their eyes are often very noticeable feature and intense and magnetic. This is everything I'm describing as my husband. Deep set, hypnotic, and mysterious and alluring quality. Strong and mesmerizing presence, they're very alluring sexually, dark hair, dark complexion, strong bone structure, mysterious and magnetic. So they dress very seductive, are very mysterious. They wear body hugging attire. They love lace and leather. They can wear minimalist jewelry, dark and dramatic makeup, versatile wardrobe, because they like transformation. Seductive though, still. Quality over quantity, embracing trends with a twist, because they like that unique touch. They're not afraid to experiment with bold cutting pieces that are also still very sexual. Thrift stores and vintage finds. Scorpios love this because they appreciate the history and the characteristic of a vintage piece. Very confident, and the attitude is very, very confident. Okay. How to attract a Scorpio. Scorpios are known for their desire for profound connections, seductive power, soulmate attraction, intense relationship, jealousy and revenge, and undying love. Scorpio relationships that doesn't include a healthy sex life is not going to last. Being a fixed sign, they usually are tenacious and can find it hard to let go. So be aware of that. Also, they want to know the dark side of you, okay? So you have to be very authentic. You have to embrace some deepness, no superficialness. You have to be confident because Scorpios are attracted to confident people. You could still be very mysterious because Scorpios will be very intrigued in trying to solve that mystery. You have to respect their boundaries because remember they are secretive. Be passionate, be intense, like the intensity. You also have to be loyal. You have to support their ambitions because they're very ambitious and driven. So you have to support their goals. Shared interests. They want someone who has the same interest in them because they appreciate shared experiences and shared hobbies. Have to have an emotional connection, of course. Display some type of sensuality in some way, like show appreciation for the physical touch. And you have to be patient because Scorpios like to take their time and be patient and allow the connection to develop naturally. Now, if you want to give a Scorpio some presents, okay? Personalized jewelry because it could be like their birthstone or like a meaningful date on it. Scorpio theme gift, so like their zodiac sign, home decor, they love that. Okay. Mystical and occult items really work for them. So like tarot cards, a crystal ball, if they're into that. Candles and incense because that's like sensual scents and it enhances like love. A sensual fragrance, something, if they say this perfume is sexy, give it to a Scorpio. A thoughtful journal because remember they're emotional and they like to get deep and they like to really break you down psychologically, and you can do that. They like to do that themselves. Books, any books on mystery, psychology, anything dark, you got them. Philosophy too. Personalized art, meaningful experience because they want to really have something meaningful with you. Sensual lingerie, even a book on thrillers is really good. Custom birth chart will be great because again you got that occult. Anything antique and vintage, I know you think that more for Cancers, but Scorpios will appreciate that too because there's some history, there's some deepness. It's just not like a surface gift. A thoughtful letter would be great. Now, the jobs that Scorpios can do. Scorpios have a natural aptitude for careers that allow them to channel their deep emotions, investigative qualities, abilities, and transformative qualities. So they could be detectives, researchers, anything dealing with revealing the truth or what's hidden, exploration, the mysterious and concealed is concerned, explorers, investigators, detective, cave explorers, espionage, like a spy, psychoanalysts, psychologists, therapists, counselor, mental health professionals, X-ray technologists, X-ray technology, but also esoteric and secret teachings. They're not scared to go to any taboo kind of territory, like I said earlier. So sex, money, and power, anything dealing with the afterlife, those professions would be good. A garbage collector, okay? Any profession that's treated as an outcast by society, they're not scared to do that. Any task dealing with death, companion to the dying, director of a funeral home, executive of wills, trustees in bankruptcy, they're all good with that. Surgeon, major Scorpio energy, medical specialist, research scientist, witchcraft, anything dealing with divination, crisis counselor or trauma specialist, financial analyst. I said investment banker, legal profession, lawyers, judge, legal analyst, entrepreneur or business owner, because remember, they're the boss, professional, professions involving any type of transformation, even like a yoga instructor or like a wellness coach, a sex therapist, anything dealing with sexual health, also work, sexual education, special forces or military roles. Life or death situations could lead to success in the military or special forces positions. Now we have the 8th house. That is, if you're into astrology, that is what Scorpio and Pluto, that is what it is about. And so the 8th house is representative of transformation, regeneration, death and rebirth, intimacy and sexuality, psychology and the occult, endings and beginnings, joint ventures and shared experiences. So that could be emotional connections such as marriage, business partners, and other collaborations, inheritances and legacies. You got that in the 8th house. And mystery and what is hidden is in the 8th house too. Keywords for the 8th house: alimony, bankruptcy, ceremonies with the dead, coroners, death rates, dowries, your debt, fears, joint finances, government ending or end of existing state, soul, wills, surgeon, psychic, occult, inheritance, secrets, curses, sixth sense, sleep, in death, research, hidden assets, spiritual change, money from marriage, conflict over wealth, corporate money, corrosions, endings, resolutions, moral boosting, spiritual support, legacies, trust, and wills. Scorpio keywords: determined, forceful, emotional, intuitive, powerful, magnetic, exciting, reptile, blood, dark, scarlet, rotting, mortuaries, life after death, rebirth, regeneration, reincarnation, feces, floods, hate, hay fever, womb, sex, passion, pelvis, gonorrhea, lava, meat trade, nose, surgical operations, perspiration, pool of water, psychiatrist, research, sarcasm, satire, secrets, sewers, bill, tax collectors, taxes, life insurance, treachery, witches, scrutiny, oppression, motive, subversion, investment, envy, resentment, chemistry, diligence, concentration, riches, intimidation, isolation, desire, indulgence, closure, dominant, and reserve. So I put up a bunch of celebrity Scorpios, and I put them up as I was doing what they look like. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And the Scorpio quote is, "I balance the passionate, dark, insane part of being a Scorpio the best I can." And that is Leonardo DiCaprio. I hope you guys enjoyed everything Scorpio. And until next time, bye.